say welcome to the National Baptist Convention USA Incorporated Hope Initiatives All of Us Research Program. The future of health begins with us. I said that. Facebook Live. So I'm excited, everybody. I'm Angela Shine. I am the mental health coordinator of Hope Initiative. And also, you might see me every Saturday on my national TV show called Faith in Mind. You can always watch me on the Now Network every Saturday at 4:30 p.m. And guess what? I'm here in Nashville, Tennessee at the beautiful Gaylord Hotel because I'm hosting two wonderful ladies beside me, and we're about to talk about some great information. But you know what? Do me a favor. If you're in the room, invite followers to listen to this broadcast. So please share this broadcast with everyone. And also, if you will, type in your name of your church along with your organization's name, the city and the state that you're in, because we're it's about 2,000 people here at the Sunday School Publishing Board 39th convention here at the Gaylord Hotel. So we want to know who's listening to us, okay? And then also hashtag us. You can do at hashtag HopeAOU. Check us out on the website at www.hopebc.com and Facebook, of course, facebook.com/NBC Hope. And also you can do Twitter at Faith in Mind or at Trinity Whole. So we got some good information we're talking about. Like I said, we're going to be talking about health and wellness, about precision medicine, and about minority health. But I tell you what, we're going to take just a break with some information and make sure that hopefully you'll keep sharing, and we'll be right back with my guest.
Come on, give him glory, give him Lord. He's worthy of all the praise. Come on, will you help me? Help me lift him up. Help me lift him up. Help me lift him up.
So everybody, we're back. And again, I'm Angela Shine. I'm the host on this Facebook Live on this wonderful Monday afternoon at 12 o'clock noon at the Gaylord Hotel in the beautiful, in my hometown, everybody, Nashville, Tennessee. And so I'm excited that you're looking and you will be sharing with us some great information. And you know what? I have a special guest that will be talking more about, like I told you, about faith. And you know about what I talk about, right? You know that I talk about, I'm the mental health coordinator for the Hope Initiative, and I believe, and really the National Baptists believe in the mind, body, and spirit, that it's not only just the spirit that we talk about, but to be holistically whole. May I say that? You know, we really have to focus on the total wellness of the mind, body, and spirit. And so this afternoon on my right, I have Sister Lottie Minor, First Lady of the Oak Hill Baptist Church, Hernando, Mississippi, where their motto is, dedicated to serve, I love that, after the benediction. She's the proud wife of pastor of Oak Hill Baptist Church, Dr. Michael O. Minor, and also he's the national director of the Hope Initiative. She's an extremely gifted writer, teacher, and administrator. Her work in faith-based health and wellness, higher education, leadership, and administration keeps her extremely busy, everybody. And I'm so glad that she's here, everybody, on the national, regional, and local level. She's a national trainer, of course, with the NBC Hope HHS partnership team and the project administrator of what we're going to be talking about, okay, of the All of Us Community Initiative Project. And so I would like to say, hi, Sister Lottie.
Hello, my sister. How are you this
I am
afternoon?
so wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing quite well.
Well, you know what? We have been talking about coming here for a couple weeks, and so we're here. What do you think about the Gaylord?
It is a beautiful place. You will get lost in here, and lost in a good way, because everywhere you turn there is something exciting, there's something beautiful. Christmas is in the air here at the Gaylord. It really, really is. And so it is a wonderful place. We're having a fabulous time, not only learning here with the Sunday School Publishing Board, but just enjoying this beautiful venue.
Yes, yes, and it really reminded me, especially last night, you know, my son is 24 years old, right? And so I would always bring him out here every year, and even a couple years back, he would say, Mom, I would love to go to Opryland, because just seeing the ambiance
Oh, yeah.
of Christmas Eve. And I felt like a little child when I came in. I'm just looking at the gorgeous ornaments and just sensing just the environment. You know, just I'm ready for Christmas and
Oh,
just
yeah.
to think of God's goodness. It's just good to be here.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So you know what, we're going to have a great conversation, and also we have Dr. Wilkins that we're going to be talking about later. I mean, talking with later though. But basically, I want you to share, and I know even with this broadcast, you know, this will go across the nation. I know that we're here, and you represent National Baptist Convention USA Incorporated, but also it's another arm that I am so excited about. And even before I do that, because sometimes I'm a fast talker, right? So
That's okay.
I know I need to slow down, but I want to say thank you so much to Dr. Jerry Young, the president of the
Amen.
largest African American denomination in the country.
Amen.
Now that's a blessing. I don't know if you look at if you're looking, we need to clap. I'm clapping for you because that's a blessing when you can get us together. Come on, in one place. What? Yeah, so you know we want to say thank you so much, Dr. Jerry Young, for the opportunity, and then also, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think his name is Dean Coakley. Yes, and he is
Congress President.
Yes, the
Congress President.
Yes, ma'am. The Congress President of the Sunday School Publishing Board. 39 years of leadership of Christian education. I'm about to clap again.
Of the National Baptist
Of
Congress.
Yes, of the National Baptist
ma'am.
Congress. And Sister Lottie always keeps me straight with all the titles and different things. I love her. I love her for that.
That's my sister.
Yes, yes. So you know what, Sister Lottie?
Yes, ma'am.
You wear a lot of different hats, right?
A few.
And so what I wanted you to just to share, and even for those even in the largest African American denomination, that what is the Hope initiative?
Okay. Hope is a wonderful arm of the National Baptist Convention USA Incorporated, NBCUSA Incorporated. It is the health promotion portion of NBC.
Yeah.
Hope stands for health, outreach, promotion, education.
That's beautiful.
Hope. And we want all of our constituents and the people that we serve in our communities to have hope. And we know that our hope is in Jesus Christ.
Yes.
And hope is built on the healing ministry of Jesus. Because when he ministered, when he healed, he reached out to the entire man, the mind, the body, and the
Yes.
spirit.
Yes.
So as such, Hope wants to help our member churches and also the constituents that we serve in our communities to become Trinity well. And we do that
That's a
through
good
a
word,
health
what you said.
ambassador program. Health ambassadors are laypersons within the congregations who work not only with the members of those churches, but also with the communities that they serve to help people become as healthy as they possibly can be.
Right. And I was also looking at the historical aspect of Hope, and it really started through the URSA
Yes,
Federation.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Everybody, I don't know if y'all remember. I don't know if you remember, but I know I remember where the URSAs would come down the aisle and different things that had the smelling salts.
Yes,
and things
yes.
of that nature. But it's interesting that that's where it started.
Absolutely.
And it started really in Mississippi, correct?
It did. It started in Hernando, Mississippi, with our Usher Federation, the Rising Sun Usher Federation. And it's because the Ushers, as my sister has said, are the ones who minister to us with smelling salts. And 9 times out of 10, we were in the spirit if we were slain or passed out. But sometimes, maybe that 1 in 10 was not necessarily in the spirit. They may have had diabetes or
Yes.
high blood pressure or a heart issue. And we learned that kind of by experience, by trial and error, that we got to look at the health of the person. And those ushers are the ones oftentimes who start our health ministries in our local churches.
Right. And from where it started, it has grown over the years.
Yes, ma'am.
To so many different different initiatives. Not only the health ambassadors that have the 4 different modulars,
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
and that
ma'am.
they get a certification. You have CEUs, correct?
Correct,
And
correct.
that also you have all kind of other great programs
We do.
that are really designed, like you said, it goes beyond the Christian education, but it really extends, and I think that's very important.
It
And
sure
I
is.
really commend the National Baptist
ma'am.
Convention for bringing it all together. So in saying that, and then I'm gonna get with Dr. Wilkins in just a minute, though. And then recently, I would like, and I don't have my notes, but I do know that it was announced that the National Baptist Convention USA Incorporated is a community partner with a new initiative,
Yes, ma'am.
which
We're
is
excited.
called All of Us. Now, let me tell you something, everybody, if you're looking, and also don't forget to send this out to everyone, because I'm telling you, you're about to get some information. You're talking about, we perish because the lack of knowledge. And you know what I do every Saturday? I'm gonna keep doing it until Jesus comes. Okay, I'm gonna keep talking about the wellness of the mind, body, and spirit. But please make sure that you share the information. But this is really large, where a faith-based organization has partnered with a large community effort. So tell us about that. And I would like to say congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. We're excited. We're excited.
You're the only faith-based, I believe, or close to it.
I believe so. I believe so.
That's magnificent.
Yes, ma'am. This is a wonderful blessing. It's from NIH, the National Institute of Health,
Yes.
and All of Us is an initiative that looks at the health of minority peoples primarily, and try to help us get more into looking at how we respond to medicine, how we respond to different types of therapies, and it's an effort to help us get involved in understanding the medicines that we use to help treat our illnesses. Oftentimes we respond differently to different medications, to different treatment therapies, so this is a way to help us understand, and it involves not only African Americans, but a lot of different people of color. Organizations from across the country are coming together with All of Us, and we're asking people to join the All of Us movement to look at how we respond to medicine, how we handle medical therapies, and it's basically a way to help our medical treatment become more patient-centered, to help our people better communicate with medical professionals about their needs and their wants, even about their cultural norms and cultural beliefs, because sometimes we don't do things for our own health simply because of things that have been passed down through our culture, and oftentimes those things are not necessarily the right things.
And I just talked about that
Yes,
with
ma'am.
this young lady across the, just had that conversation. Just had that conversation.
So we're excited. We're very excited, and we've integrated some of that, All of Us information, into our Health Ambassador program. So when we go into our congregations and train people to be health ambassadors, we talk about All of Us and how their churches and their communities can get involved in it.
Great, great. Everybody, the conversation continues, and don't forget that you can look on the Facebook. There's a lot of great information that will be downloading that you're going to continue to hear about All of Us and about Health Ambassadors, Faith in Mind. Make sure that you tag somebody, make sure that you call us. Like I said, that we're here to serve, and it's just so important that hopefully that you will receive the information. So you know what, Sister Lottie, also the information that I prepared for other people to know, that dealing with the All of Us, is that you're doing some other things coming up in the next couple of months that will be on Facebook that they can actually be a part of. And so, you know what, this is a good segue to introduce Dr. Wilkins.
Yes, ma'am.
Here. Everybody, I'm so excited because before I introduce her, I met her initially in Bethesda, Maryland. I went up there for a meeting, and the first thing she, heard her say, because I was in a room about 200 people, and they said, and she said, Nashville, Tennessee, and I live in Columbus, Mississippi. I said, Nashville, okay. So I went to personally meet her, and so we had a conversation, and I saw her another time, I believe, that in Nashville at an event that I believe that her organization had sponsored, and so now I asked her to come today because I thought this was a great opportunity to see how collaborations work, And so Dr. Consuelo Wilkins is a physician, biomedical researcher, and current executive director of the Meharry-Vanderbilt Alliance. Dr. Wilkins holds faculty appointments as associate professor of medicine at both Vanderbilt University Medical Center and Meharry Medical College and is widely recognized for her innovative work in community engaged research. Now, I love research. I might not know all things about research, but I think it's important, especially if you want to know outcomes. I think it's very important about research. Engaging communities in research is a key strategy in Dr. Wilkins' health equity research and is deeply embedded in her work as a PI of the Vanderbilt Miami Meharry Center of Excellence in Precision Medicine and Population Health, which focuses on decreasing disparities among African Americans and Latinos using precision medicine. And the Vanderbilt Recruitment Innovation Center, a CTSA-wide center dedicated to enhancing recruitment and retention in clinical trials. Dr. Wilkins, how are you?
I'm well. Thank you so much, Angela, for inviting me, and Sister Maya for being here with you. I'm really excited, so excited about being able to talk to your viewers, your listeners about precision medicine and specifically about all of us. I again applaud the National Baptist Convention for being an awardee. For those of you who are not that familiar with research and the National Institute of Health, this is a big initiative and it's a very competitive program. So you certainly should be applauded for being one of the awardees.
Well, thank you, Dr. Wilkins. Well, we've talked about the faith aspect, of course, of what NBCUSA Incorporated is doing, and understand that the part of Hope initiative and what they're doing, which is the extension, right, dealing with the mind, body, and spirit. And so, basically, can you tell us about, since we are a partner of All of Us, what is All of Us?
Yes. Well, if I could tell you a little bit too about myself, I just want to say that, I grew up in a small town in Mississippi, Hollandale, in a Baptist church, and just walking through and seeing all of the pastors and ministers and missionaries here just really made me excited, and I certainly will say that the importance of health being included in the ministry, I think, is really a part of just who we are, and sometimes I think that it's undervalued in some communities and certainly in research. And so again, I just want to applaud NBC, the National Baptist Convention, for taking this step and really thinking about how they want to involve themselves and their constituents, the people who they serve in this work. So All of Us is a newer program. It was actually just launched in the last year. It's a program where there'll be 1 million research participants. So there are millions of us in the country, but 1 million people in one research study is a lot.
Yes, it
And so it's a huge national effort that's really focusing on precision medicine, which is this new emerging area approach to medicine, which will think about you as an individual, not just you as how you respond based on group differences, but thinking about how we can look at your biology, your genetics, your culture, your environment. All those things are important in determining how to prevent disease, how to treat disease, and you as an individual. I'm especially excited about this approach because I think we talk a lot about health disparities, and if we are really taking an individual approach, what's best for you as an individual, then I think the chances of us being successful are much greater than if we're just lumping everybody into these different categories. But All of Us is a research program. It's ideally going to involve, again, these 1 million people. The focus is to make sure that we have adequate representation of racial and ethnic minorities. And again, I think that's so important because if we're really going to address disparities, we have got to make sure that we're at the table and involved in these research studies so that when new medications are developed or new prevention strategies are developed, we don't have to wonder if they're going to work for us because we've already been involved in the development and the testing of these, and so that's really critical. for this kind of work.
So, in reference of minorities of participants, and Sister Lottie, you can chime in anytime because this is really open conversation. But we're talking about 1 million persons, and right now, how do you join? How could a person actually join?
Well, there are a couple of ways to join. So one is I mentioned, we both mentioned that it's a national program. So there's sites around the country where there are health organizations that you can join directly. And then there'll also be an opportunity for anyone in the country, whether or not there's a health organization near you that's affiliated with the All of Us program, for you to basically raise your hand, go online, call a number, and join. And then for people who are really concerned about participating in research, this is actually a good entry kind of research because you're not being assigned to any drug or any treatment or anything. You're filling out information, answering questions about your health. You'll give a blood sample and you'll be followed over time. But this is really a way to collect information for further studies. So it's not just one research study. Some studies are focused on diabetes or heart disease, but All of Us is really this large population kind of study where we'll be tracking people over time just to see what we can learn about health, wellness, you and your environment, your culture, and all of this.
Right. Well, you really said some great things because I know when you say research or studies of that nature, especially even faith-based and period, just in general, that a lot of people have a stigma about it or a negative connotation and things of that nature. But I read just in the information, trying to prepare for the interview, that the goal is to be able to tell people the best ways to stay healthy. Did you hear? Let me just say that once again. Look, I had to sit up for that. Goal is to be able to tell people the best ways to stay healthy. And and I thought to myself, ladies, and even when we look from the faith perspective, minority perspective, and just generally, we're in a health crisis.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Agree.
Are we not? When we talk about heart disease, strokes, diabetes, pre-diabetic. I'm a pre-diabetic, and it's about 33 million walking around here and don't even know that you are. And there's so many other different things that are preventable, and some things are genetic and different things. But we really have to take some things if you want to be healthy. So my question is, do you want to be well? Do you want to be whole? If so, the information that Dr. Wilkins and Sister Lottie, along with myself, are saying to me really supports it.
Sure.
I guess I would add that when you think about All of Us and research like this, it's also an investment in the next generation and the generations to come, because it's specifically precision medicine is new. And I know that might scare some people, that it's a new approach. But this for me means that we really need to be at the table. Because for so long, things were developed without us. And now we have a chance to make sure that these new treatments and approaches are really going to be relevant to us and our families in the future. So, think about that. Think about what that means for a healthier next generation, for your offspring and grandchildren and great-grandchildren to have a chance to be healthy and whole and wealthy and serve. You can't do just about anything else if you're in poor health.
Absolutely. You can't do ministry, first of all, because you got to go. You got to get out and move. If you're sick, you can't.
That's true. That's true. So what would you say in reference? Why should minority? I know you talked, you really talked about it, but still, again, why do you feel as if? Well, let me ask you, Sister Lottie. Why do you feel as if that? The faith, National Baptist or any faith, from your standpoint, why they should be, that they could consider all of us.
Because really, faith and health go hand in hand.
It does.
On the faith side, all through the Bible, we see stories of healing. Again, like I said earlier, healing of the mind, the body, and the spirit, but it's holistic wellness. So
Yes.
if there's any place to start with wellness, I think it should start in our churches. Historically, our African American churches have always been the mecca or the hub of everything in the community. They were the place that you went for education. Our churches were the place that you went if you had an economic crisis in terms of money or food or other resources. The church has been and should be the place that we go to when we have any problem, for counseling, for help, for anything. So why not start with the church and trying to get us some help with being a healthier population, physically, mentally, and then of course we know the church helps us to be healthier spiritually.
Sure. And I believe, because also when I look at research, a lot of times it is a positive correlation.
Oh, absolutely.
Of faith, a positive that I've seen, that the research is saying that if a person has faith, then it helps as far as trying to get well and things of that nature. So, we're at a good place. We're at a good place, but I will still remain to have, for us to really think about holistically our mind, our body, and our spirit. That again, that we have to make sure that it's aligned. And I really think all of us is a great opportunity to really consider the information. It will be on the screen. I'm pretty sure it's on the Facebook. If you have any questions for Dr. Wilkins or Sister Lottie, feel free. That I have my phone, and I was trying to see if we got any questions, that while they're here, they would be more than happy to answer them. But is there anything else?
I wanted to just say also that, I started out wanting to be a physician. I'm trained in internal medicine and geriatrics. I grew up as a young girl wanting to be a geriatrician, taking care of older adults. I was blessed to have many grandparents in my life, and I really enjoyed spending time with them. But I thought that's what I was going to do. I was just going to be a physician, a primary care doctor for older adults. And when I was in my training, I realized that some things that I learned weren't quite accurate. So, for an example, I learned that as African Americans, we are less likely to have osteoporosis, so thin, brittle bones, and break our bones. And then when I was doing my training, I'm at Duke University, I'm seeing patients, and I see African American woman come in with a broken hip. Another one come in with a broken hip, and I started thinking, well, this is not supposed to happen, because I learned that we don't get osteoporosis, and so that really changed my approach in thinking, okay, there's a lot of research that needs to be done to make sure that the evidence that's being generated, what people learn, is really about taking care of people and preventing illnesses. Is relevant to everyone, and specifically that we know what we're talking about. Turns out, it is true, we're less likely to get osteoporosis, but doesn't mean we don't get it. We get it maybe 7 years later than our Caucasian counterparts, which means that now that we're living longer, we need to make sure that we're preparing for that. And so, that's what really excites me about these kinds of programs, that we get the opportunity to really impact things in a positive way. It's not just about creating new medicines, but learning things and how they're relevant to all of us.
Yeah, that's true. And what I also, just in reading the material about all of us, that it really states that they want individuals who sign up to be partners.
Yes.
And I like that word.
I like it too.
Yes.
So I didn't get a chance to say that the program, there were lots of awards in the last year, but Vanderbilt was one of the pilot awards initially, and I had the pleasure of going around the country and doing some engagement, some stakeholder engagement. So we have this model that the Meharry-Vanderbilt Community Engaged Research Corps created, what we call Community Engagement Studios. So basically we go to areas in the community, we identify people who are going to come in and give us advice on the research. Tell us what you like, what you don't like, what you think we can do to make it better. So we did 78 of these.
Wow.
Around the country. We were in churches, community health centers, community centers across the country, and we really got to hear what do people want to see, why they, how we need to make sure that community partners are at the table, and that people beyond the traditional researchers and health professionals know about this and believe in it and are willing to be involved. So I think we got some great input, and it was really on the flip side, great for me to see that the researchers really took this information and thought about
Did something with it.
Well, because I'm saying, well, don't send me around the country to get information if we're not going to do anything.
Absolutely.
Because that's not that helpful. So we were able to see some key changes that happened based on the feedback from the community. So I think that's really important.
And that's why I'm very excited about all of us, because they're really trying to bring individuals as partners, and you'll be able to look at the data and different things. And right now, it's just really increasing the awareness of it. So I don't even think they've started yet.
Well, they have started. So there are a few thousand of the million yet to come, but it isn't testing yet. So, which I think is really important. So basically, we design a study, a proposal, a plan, and at this point is just on paper. We think we know how it's gonna work. We think we know how long it's gonna take for you to fill out the papers and sign up and get in and get evaluated. But really, if we want it to be efficient and people to have a good experience and for us to get the kind of information and data we need, we have to test it at some point. So that's what we mean with this beta testing, that it's been being done in a limited way at different sites so that we can make sure we understand how it's going to work, because it's better to do that than to try and get 1 million people in and realize we messed up early on. So I think this is a really important state. But the awareness piece, I agree, is we can't underestimate that, so that people understand, what this is, but also what we did find in going around the country talking about this program before it even launched is that precision medicine is such a new term. People don't know what it is, and so we have to actually provide some information about that too. What it is, why it's important, why they should want to
That's
be
more
involved.
like individualized medicine, correct?
Yes. So a good example is if you think about glasses. So if you go to the eye doctor, you're going to get a prescription that's unique to you. So it's you pick up somebody else's, you might be able to see a little bit, but your head start hurting after a little while because that was designed just for you.
For that person.
Right? You think another example is blood typing. So if you lose a lot of blood and need a blood transfusion, we talk about, are you A, B, O, A, B, and we try to match that to prevent additional complications and rejections, etc. So matching, personalizing things just for you, but now we're talking about on a much bigger scale. So not just about one single thing, but again, your genes, your biology, your environment, your culture, your diet, all of those things, pulling that into one single way of looking at how to best treat you for specific conditions, I think is really important.
It is, and it's new and innovative. And again, if we're in a health crisis, something need to be done.
Oh, absolutely.
I understand on the spiritual base, and we understand that, but also we have to include some other different things to really start looking at our own health.
Oh, absolutely.
And really, take initiative. So again, we're here. The information is on the screen, and I'm pretty sure. Sister Minor,
I'll say this while we're waiting on him. I just thought one size does not fit all.
No, that's good.
Oftentimes when we teach our health ambassador course, we'll talk about the church where my husband has been blessed to pastor. Did an initiative that got a lot of traction, even with First Lady Michelle Obama, with the banning of the fried chicken.
Yes.
That ministry won't work in every church. At some churches it might be a smoking cessation program. At some churches it might be a diabetes awareness. So same thing with all of us. Every individual is different. One size is not going to fit everyone, but we need everyone's participation to help make it work.
Right. And again, you know, the Hope Initiative of NBCUSA Incorporated has a community partnership with NIH to promote all of us, and hopefully you'll go to the website, and I believe it's Hope. You can actually go to www.hopebc.org. Did I say that right? I think I did. I say that right? Very good. I said no. I was close. www.hopebc.com. Everybody, all of us information is there. You can click on it. You've heard from Dr. Wilkins. You heard from Sister Lottie from both perspectives, and you have to think not only about yourself, about generations, and also about your church, and about the larger part, which is community, right? So we have to think about that, and I know that National Baptist is really on the move. And again, we commend you for the partnership, and we're really trying to instill, because a lot of times people just have questions. That's why, you know, we wanted to do this and wanted to bring Dr. Wilkins on, because she's the lady that knows. She knows, along with Sister Lonnie. So I wanted to bring them to really talk about the role of it and how minorities can really be a part, because please don't think that you should not be a part. You know, I was told one time that I forgot the saying was something. I'd rather be at the table than I forget
On the menu.
Than on
the
the
menu. That's the truth. I'd rather be at the table than on the menu. And a lot of times you're right there where you can be on the table. And you heard Dr. Wilkins, you've heard Sister Lottie, that this is a major opportunity that National Baptist Convention USA Incorporated has been enthralled to participate. You know, not many was chosen. You know, few were called, and many are called. I don't know what's wrong with that. You look at my sisters just helping me out, okay? Many are called, but few are chosen. So we want you to really start thinking about your health, you know, and think about the All of Us project, and see how you can get involved, and we can share this not only with churches but also with your families and with communities. So did we have any questions? Anybody have any questions that they would like to ask, or any comments? I don't see anything. I don't think I do. Brother Duke, do we? Okay, Duke. Okay, he's checking.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't say
Okay. I'm not for sure, but the time is 12:48. We still got just a little bit more time. But what parting words would you like to say, Dr. Wilkins?
Well, I would certainly say this is a good time for you to start asking questions. So I'm not one to certainly push people to participate in research unless they're ready. But I think that if you ask questions, if you get to know the kind of work that's being done and why it's so important, then you'll want to participate. Like, that's my goal. I want people to feel comfortable and interested and invested in research in general. And certainly today we're talking about All of Us, which is I think a really important and unique opportunity for us to have an impact on the future of medicine and health and precision medicine. So I really want people to think about that. Think about every time you go to the pharmacy or even the grocery store and get an aspirin or Tylenol. That had to go through some testing. We had to make sure that worked in some ways. And as old as some of these medicines I'm talking about now are, you can imagine that many minorities were not included in some of that work. So we need to make sure that as medicine and health changes and advances, that we're at the table and we're involved and we're partnering. We're not being research subjects anymore, that we're actually being involved and understanding. And I honestly would love to see us make sure that we think about how to get the information that all of us is collecting back to the communities more. So, if we're encouraging people to participate and they're participating, then that information just doesn't belong to the researchers, it belongs to everybody. So let's make sure that we're taking advantage of this opportunity to get the information back to ourselves. Maybe there are questions that you want to ask and answer with this for your community, for your churches, for whichever organizations you're involved in. Think about that as an opportunity for you to leverage this program as well.
You said something that we didn't mention, because I read in the material where they want to earn trust from the partners, and I'm glad that you said that. Everything happens for a reason, right? And so, because it is very important, but also they have a component, as I remember in the All of Us, where you can also receive information from them. But I think it's very important to hold people accountable.
Right.
If they say it, then you need to make sure that everyone does their own their own responsibility, right? So I think that's very important, but I also believe that they understand the importance of it, and that I read that. So hopefully that will be, you have to hold people accountable. So don't think that you can't ask questions, don't think that you can't receive your own data, because they basically said, because it's written. If you go to www.hopebc.com, you can read that information. That's where I read it from, to be honest with you, okay? So that was very good in what you say, because again, I'm pretty sure some people say, I don't know about All of Us, and I don't know about the Hope ambassadors. Let's just be honest, because you have to meet people where they are. Dr. Wilkins and Sister Lottie, I'm a social worker, so sometimes, hey, if I have to hold your hand for 2 years, I'm going to do that, and until maybe you come. But if not, then we just have to meet people where they are, because the goal is total wellness. And so, in parting words, and I see Dr. Michael Minor. I don't know if we can get him over here. You think we can?
I don't know.
Okay.
He's deep in conversation.
Yes. So a parting word, Sister Lottie?
My parting words would be extremely brief. I want to thank my Sister Angela Shine, for even giving us this opportunity. I'm excited that the National Baptist Convention USA is involved even more deeply now in health than we were before. I think that this All of Us initiative is going to be great for not only NBC member churches, but for people as a whole. Those 1 million people that Dr. Wilkins talked about can really, really make some strides in their own individual health. And it starts with one person. So look at the information. As my sister Angela has said, the website is www.hopenbc.com. www.hopenbc.com. That will give you the information on the Hope Health Ministry training, the Health Ambassador training that we spoke about. It'll tell you more about All of Us. Look at it. Use the information there to help your congregations become better, because that's really what it's all about.
That's wonderful. Brother Duke, could you, and also NBC USA Incorporated, also is several things that's what they're doing, a tour coming up, Sister Lottie, in January and February, I believe, in Alabama, correct?
We will be in several places.
Mobile
talking
coming
about
up.
All of Us. We'll be in January We'll be in Mobile. We'll be in Alabama coming up, talking about Mobile. So we're bringing this to you, bring it to your
Yes.
community.
Yes. Could you just show number 2 for us, just quickly, so they can see the information? And again, I'll put it on Facebook. We'll send it out or whatever we need to make sure that please come out to inquire more about all of us and to meet the Hope team, and after that we'll come back and close. I was trying to see if I can get Dr. Minor real quick, so we'll be back. Well, everybody, it's 12:55 p.m. We're going to end at 1 because I know Dr. Wilkins and Sister Minor are very busy, and I want to say on behalf of Hope Initiative and the National Baptist Convention USA Incorporated, thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Wilkins,
Thank you for
coming.
having
Thank
us,
you,
Angela.
Sister
God bless
Minor.
you.
Well, I tell you, everybody, my parting words is, and don't forget you can watch Faith in Mind every Saturday. Please watch it at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time, 3:30 Central Standard Time. You can go to www.thenownetwork.org. You can go to Roku, and it's on several other different stations, or go to my Facebook page, Faith in Mind. I talk about mental health, dealing with the mind, body, and spirit. I have a series coming up that's talking about the misperceptions about mental health and faith. Now let me tell you, there is no health without mental health. I always talk about that. So what we're talking about today is all inclusive when we talk about total wellness for the mind, body, and spirit. So I'm Angela Shine, and thank you so much, and God bless.